Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Night Arena here in beautiful Buena Vista, Virginia. I'm Chris Fly, along with Dawson Weidrich, here to bring you the action tonight's women's basketball match between the Knights of Southern Virginia University and the Owls of Bryn Mawr College. Dawson, should be an exciting one today.
Oh, it absolutely should be, especially after last night. Last night was the home opener for the Knights. Unfortunately, it ended in defeat, losing 72-78 to the Lions of Piedmont College. But with that being such a close game, they lost by 6 points. And we were here last night. If you joined us last night for the broadcast, they were down by 18 in the third quarter. And again, we mentioned many times that this is a team, Piedmont anyway, that made the NCAA Division III tournament last year. And so in order to lose by 6 after being down by so much, that speaks wonders to this team.
Absolutely does. The mantra for this team is be a champion. They definitely played like champions yesterday. Didn't get the result they might have wanted, but man, did they fight hard. Like you said, down by 18 points at one point, and to come back and bring the game within 6 is just an amazing feat. So, if anything, this Knights team has shown that they are capable of playing excellent basketball, and we hope to see some tonight.
Absolutely, and I think the big thing that was really key in their game last night that helped them to get back was to realize how they should transition their game. Alexis Barnes started off with the hot hand, making a couple threes and having a couple fast break layups, but then in the second half, they started to key on her a little bit. They started to play harder defense on Alexis, and so they had to turn to somebody else. We asked, who is it going to be? It ended up being Katie Garish, who ended up with 6 blocks on the night, ended up leading the team in scoring. I believe it was 16 points. And, yeah, she just did a phenomenal job. They did great adjusting. Great job by Coach Wardenberg, and just making sure they knew who to go to in that time of distress. And speaking of Coach, I was actually able to talk to him before the game a little bit about what happened last night with Piedmont College, and he had a couple things to talk about. He talked about it was a learning lesson. He mentioned how being down by 18, that's a hard thing to come back from. He realized we don't quite have the skill set right now to come back like that against a team of that quality, especially the way that the Piedmont's point guard, Zero Price, was playing. I mean, it's hard to come back from that. But he's saying can't fall behind like that early on, and you got to improve defensively, got to move your feet, which at times the Knights did that. They drew a couple of charge penalties last night, and as well as Piedmont did, it was back and forth with that, but got to move your feet defensively. And the main thing you talked about was one thing we talked about many times was turnovers. The Knights ended up last night with 24 turnovers, 10 more than they had in the previous game. And, I mean, with that, it's hard to win. And he talked about how that was all mental turnovers, like drop passes, traveling when you don't really know what to do. And you also had things like you just got to be more mentally engaged. You got to be more focused and understand where you are on the floor and how to handle the basketball.
Definitely, you can see throughout that last game, as they grew throughout the quarters, first half, played a little bit sloppy, had a lot of turnovers like you mentioned, but that third and fourth quarter, they grew up as a team and they knew how to play together and they knew what the opponent was giving them, and we hope to see that same adaptability tonight. As you mentioned, Katie Garish picking up the slack for Alexis Barnes yesterday as Alexis Barnes was getting keyed on. Hope to see her have another great game today, the whole entire Knights team, but definitely be wondering if this Knights team and Coach Wardenberg rides the hot hand of Katie Garish.
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about Katie Garish. We were just talking a few minutes ago how Katie Garish is averaging a double-double per game, averaging about 15 points and 15 rebounds. So, again, if you're Bryn Mawr right now, that's the player you're keying on is Garish right there because, I mean, if you slow down the post game, that really does wonders for your defense. And the same thing goes for the Knights. If you can defend your paint at least better than they did last night against Piedmont, where that's a tough team to defend against, then you have a better chance of success and winning and also limiting turnovers.
Absolutely. This Knights team has a lot of weapons at their disposal. If Bryn Mawr decides and elects to guard Katie Garish as tightly as they might want to, as they need to do to stop her, the Knights have plenty of shooters. We saw last night Amanda Wood among one of them stepping up and being a real sharpshooter for the team. The leading three-point percentage on the team belongs right now to Lorna Lei Sua'ava. So just so many weapons for Coach Adam Wardenberg to use, and it'd be really exciting to see them today. The Owls of Bryn Mawr College, a worthy adversary, but hopefully the Knights can come up with a win today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Bryn Mawr is a team that is having something to prove today. They had a struggling season last year, going 1-24, very struggling season. They started off the season 0-1, and so again, they have a lot to prove. And so when you have a lot to prove, you have a fire underneath you. And so how you handle a team like that will really be a show of how determined this Knights team is.
Absolutely, and with that,
Thank you.
Your attention, please. Welcome to the Knight Sports Arena at Southern Virginia University for today's women's basketball Capital Athletic Conference matchup featuring the Owls of Bryn Mawr College and your Southern Virginia University Knights. President Wilcox and the Southern Virginia staff, thank you for your support of the student athletes and coaches participating in today's contest. In the spirit of good sportsmanship, they ask you to respect the following SVU athletic rules. Cheer loudly and proudly for your team, not against the visitors. No profanity, vulgarity, racist, or sexist remarks. No personal remarks toward players, coaches, or officials. Show that you know the game. Stay away from the playing area and team bench areas. Zero tolerance for alcohol and tobacco use at all contests. Thank you for your cooperation, and go Knights! In accordance with tradition at Southern Virginia University, we'll begin with a word of prayer, which will be offered by Dakota Windsor.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we're grateful we could all gather today and play the game of basketball. I'm grateful that we could all arrive safely. Please bless us as both teams play tonight, that they may have fun and enjoy the spirit of competition. Please bless them, no harm acts will come upon either team. We love you, Lord, and thank you for all the many blessings. Say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Now, if you'll all please rise and face the flag for the playing of our nation's national anthem. Thank you. And now for your starting lineups. Starting for the Owls of Bryn Mawr College. At guard, senior, number 10, Elizabeth Chan. At center, junior, number 12, Sydney Gardner. At guard, junior, number 14, Brendan Harrison.
And we're back, guys. Bryn Mawr Owls are having their announced for today. A couple of good starters here. We have number 12, Sydney Garner. Number 10, Elizabeth Chan. Number 14, Brendan Harrison. Number 33, Helena Martin. We also got number 44, Odinaka Oraneku. And now we got your Knights, who again had a great game last night playing against Piedmont College, coming back and being 18 down and only ended up losing the game by 6. They start off the season 1-1. And the first starter announces number 10, Nicole Muse, senior. She had a great game shooting last night. She came in and was a great spark player for the Knights when they were struggling to score. And number 13, Dawn Mead, starting point guard so far for this season. She is a freshman, and she has really made an impact so far. She's from St. George, Utah, went to Pine View High School. Also number 21, Savannah Christensen, sophomore forward from Leh, Hawaii. Number 23, one of the leading scorers on the team, Alexis Barnes. She's from Oceanside, California, and started off the game last night hot with 12 points, ended up fouling out late in the fourth. And number 40, Katie Garish, who is a big impact player when defense is keyed on Alexis Barnes, and so we'll see if they'll feed her the ball more tonight. She's been great rebounding so far. She's again averaging a double-double throughout the season, so we'll see if she can keep that streak up tonight. Knights gathering midcourt. And of course, Katie Garrett should be the one that'll be tipping it off, along with number 12 for the Owls, Sydney Gardner. Coach Wardenberg wanted a little word with his team before sending them out on the floor. And we talked about how great of an impact on the culture of this team Coach Wardenberg has been. The players absolutely love to play for him. They said he's been a great impact to them in giving them motivation, giving them confidence, and helping them to have the mentality of a champion. The rest bringing the ball to midcourt to be tipped off. And the Knights win the tip. It goes to Alexis Barnes. She's going to dribble on the far side. Gets it back to Dawn Mead. Goes back, hands it off to Alexis Barnes. Gets in the corner to Mead, who gets it to Garish, who takes the first basket of the game. A great first offensive possession for the Knights, just as they drew it up. All right, Dawn Mead dribbling on the far side. A great defensive stand for the Knights to start off. Savannah Christensen for three, and that's good. The Knights start off hot with 5 straight points. A bucket by Garish and a three-pointer by Christensen. That's a good sign for the Knights starting off early. That was Ornaku passing it. And now that goes out of bounds. That was a pass from Elizabeth Chan. So now Christensen will pass it back in for Dawn Mead. And she'll be defended by Brendan Harrison. Can hand off to Muse, to Mead. And Christensen going for the ball out of bounds, but not able to get to it. Slips and falls, and so it'll be Owl basketball. But a good effort there by Savannah Christensen. This is the complete opposite of the script that was last night when the Knights played against Piedmont College. They started off being down 6-0. Alexis Barnes on defense gets past the screen. There's a drive to the lane there, blocked by Katie Garish, who had 6 of them last night. That's an air ball. Dawn Mead will intercept that pass that was trying to be saved by number 12, Sydney Gardner. Alexis Barnes gets a fast break layup pass from Dawn Mead. That puts the Knights up 7-0 early on in the first quarter. The Knights obviously having a fire underneath them after last night's disappointing loss to Piedmont College. Great cross-court pass. Savannah Christensen got that rebound, and Dawn Mead is taking it up the court. Alexis Barnes drives in, and she just misses the layup, and the rebound will go to the Owls. And so now Brendan Harrison will be taking the ball at the court. Sean with it. That's another missed shot, almost rebounded by Dawn Mead, and in fact collected by Sydney Gardner. And I believe they're going to call that foul on Katie Garish. Actually, no, they're going to call that on Nicole Muse. It's number 12, Sydney Gardner, will be at the free throw line for the Owls. Coach Warrenberg from the sideline talking about how they need to rebound defensively. And first free throw is no good by Gardner. And so you see Christensen and Garish at the bottom blocks. Ready to box out. And the second free throw is good, so the Owls are now on the board, being 7-1 in favor of the Knights. Dawn Mead will take it up court. We saw Dawn Mead and Corey Stout sharing some time, or splitting some time last night at point guard. That pass was just a little bit too high for Katie Garish. There's some discussion by the refs as to who the ball would go to, and it turns out it's to the Owls. So Harrison taking up the court to the near side. We're going to call a foul on number 12, Sydney Gardner, giving Alexis Barnes a little bit of a shove there. So now the Knights have the ball back, being up 7-1 still. And that's stolen by Helena Martin. Takes it all the way down and nails the jumper, make it 7-3. Katie Garish gets it out to Dawn Mead, who takes another shot. And that three-pointer is missed, but Katie Garish gets the rebound. And it's fouled on the way up by number 12, Sydney Gardner. Or Garner, excuse me. So that'll be 2 free throws for Garish. And we'll see Corey Stout come into the game, as well as number 20, Amanda Wood. First three throw from Garish is good. We'll see number 14, Sophie Wright, coming in. And so Christensen, Muse, and Mead will come out for the Knights. Seems to be a little bit of confusion with Amanda Wood and also number 35, Lorna Le Suava. Apparently, they were not allowed to have white undershirts for the uniforms, and so they will not be able to come into the game just yet. Due to NCAA regulations, you have to have the shirt that matches the uniform's main color that you're wearing. And that free throw will make it 9-3 in favor of the Knights. So the Knights still holding a 6-point lead. And Katie Garish getting that rebound, gets it Stout, who hands it off to Alexis Barnes, who's got a lane. Gonna go up, and that's gonna be a foul on number 12, Sydney Gardner. And so she'll have 2 free throws. Free throws were a little bit of a struggle last night against Piedmont College. They only shot around 50%. And as we know, they ended up losing by 6. And so free throws go a long way as far as the final result for a game. And so that's one thing I feel like Coach Warnenberg is definitely going to focus on in the coming weeks as the season progresses. Now free throw's good from Barnes. Make it 10-3. And so we'll see number 20, Amanda Wood, check in again at the scores table. Sean with the ball. That was a good idea of a pass, trying to get it to number 42, Cleo Elizabeth Robertson. Now Corey Stout passes up to Katie Garish, who's got 2 people on her. Almost makes it over 2 defenders. And it's going to go out of bounds off of Katie Garish. And so Amanda Wood will come in for Alexis Barnes. And now Brendan Harrison will take it up the court for the Owls. We'll also see Brooke Jorgensen check in for the Knights. The Knights have a good trap, but looks like Amanda Wood just got a little bit too aggressive. And so they're going to call a foul on her as Jorgensen comes in for Katie Garish. So the inbound pass will come from number 42, Odinaka. Cleo Elizabeth Robertson. And that's rebounded by number 35, Lorna Le Suava, who leads the team in 3-point percentage. Corey Stout almost loses it, gets it to Jorgensen, who dribbles inside and gets the bucket over 2 defenders. What was almost a disaster play ended up being a great scoring play for the Knights. good look by number 42, Robertson, but then the Owls get it back. Looks like they're going to call a defensive foul on number 35, Suava.
At the quarter?
So the inbound pass will come from Brendan Harrison. And a good inbound pass near the post, but she's going to have to dribble back out and get it to Robertson, who gets the and one over Jorgensen. So shooting the free throw will be again number 42, Cleo Elizabeth Robertson. She's from Fairfax, Virginia. She went to W.T. Woodson High School, and she makes that one. He's going to call that on Robertson, so the score will be 12-6. Still in favor of the Knights, holding a 6-point lead. That's we're going to have a timeout here. And so Coach Wardenberg's going to sit down his Knights team and figure out how they can continue to extend this lead, as the lead's been about 6 points ever since they won on their first initial 5-0 run. Again, we talked about the championship mentality that Adam Wardenberg is trying to bring to this women's Knights team, and so far doing a good job of helping them to take advantage of all opportunities to take the lead in this game and to eventually have a hopefully conference championship at the end of this year.
Absolutely, that's definitely that's their goal for this game. That's their goal. They want to be able to do as well as they can and make it as far as they can. And as we talk to our players, they want to be champions, and I think they have the caliber to play that way, as they're up 12-6 right now over the Owls.
Yeah, absolutely. As the Knights break from their timeout huddle here, again, find themselves up by 6 points. I'm just really excited about how they're playing right now. I mean, yeah, there's still some mistakes, and they haven't been as on fire as they were early on. But I'm just loving the better passing that they're doing so far early on in this game.
Absolutely, it only being the third game of the season, so mistakes are to come. There's still a lot more season to be played and a lot of time for this team to grow together and build that chemistry, but they played extremely well today as Corey Stout goes up and banks the miracle shot. That's another 2 for the Knights.
We talked about last night, Price for Piedmont College, how she kind of throws some of those things up. That's kind of what Corey Stout had to do, and it goes in.
Since the Owls working their offense, take the long 3 and drain it.
That was quite some distance, had a couple of feet behind the three-point line, so that's pretty impressive. Again, that was number 14, Brendan Harrison, I think it was.
And a carry call by the referee against number 11 for the Knights, Corey Stout. This ball will now belong to the Owls.
Those are those mental turnovers that Coach Wardenberg talked about before the game that they need to avoid. Just things that they can prevent, like traveling, passing, just things like that really can kill you if continued on for a long period of time.
The foul call here against says Knights number 14. That is Sophie Wright. It'll send number 20 for the Owls, Leia Paladugu, to the line to shoot 2. Makes her first one.
So now all of a sudden the Owls are within 4 points. And I don't know about you, but if I'm the Knights right now, I'm wanting to say, hey, let's get back on a scoring run. Let's make it so that's not in question anymore. Let's just run away with this thing.
Paladugu's second shot. Finds it. Now a 3-point game.
That was a nice screen. Almost gets it to go. So I like that screen at the top of the paint. That was number 20, Amanda Wood, who set that screen, and she did a great job of just standing her ground, not, getting herself an illegal screen called on her. And then, of course, Dawn Mead did a great job of taking that lane.
And with that, that'll send Dawn Mead to the line to shoot 2 for the Knights. Misses her first one. Like you said earlier, Dawson, free throw has been a real struggle for this team so far. missed a lot of them last game, looking to definitely turn the tide this afternoon.
It's like a bank account, you know. If you spend a lot or one place or in another way, it's like interest. If you save a little bit every now and then, it's going to amount to a big thing. So if you make the small things count, like free throws, that's going to build up to where that's the difference in the game. And you're going to hear me preach that over and over and over again. You're going to get sick of hearing it, Chris, but I'm going to keep preaching it.
Now a 4-point game. Ball put up and put in by number 33, Helena Martin.
Here early on, that's a little too close for comfort if you're the Knights right now, being a heavy favorite as far as schedules according to last year are concerned. I mean, the last time the Knights played the Owls, they won 88-59.
Quick three, got it. Now, timeout taken by Coach Adam Wardenberg of the Knights after that quick run there by the Owls. They're now leading in this game with a 1-point lead.
And of course, Coach Wardenberg is extremely upset with his team after letting that run happen. I mean, again, on paper, and just looking at how some other teams have played, the Knights, to me, feel like the better team. And so, he's telling them to play like it. He's saying to them right now, you got to play the champions that you know you are. And you got to make sure that you always have that mentality. When you get a lead, don't let up. Don't let them get back into it.
Knights started this game extremely well, taking a massive lead, but it's been chipped away here by the Owls. And Knights need to find an answer. They need to turn the tide a little bit and go back to what they were doing in that first 5 minutes of the game. Now you see Dawn Mead taking the ball up here for the Knights.
Yeah, sorry about that, Chris, but I think a big thing with that early on lead is that they came out with a sense of fire underneath them after that loss last night, and they need to return to that. They need to get that momentum back and get that motivation back that they had early on.
Here's the Knights turn the ball over yet again. Now the Owls have an opportunity on offense. Quick shot on the paint, blocked by Garish. Her second block of the night.
And you saw Amanda Wood get in there too. She did a great job helping with the double team along with Garish.
See Muse for the Knights trying to take a drive there, but had the ball stripped. Beautiful work there by freshman point guard Dawn Mead to intercept the ball out of the air.
What a great burst of speed right there by Dawn Mead in order to catch up to the fast break and to take that option away.
See Amanda Wood with a three. No good, to be rebounded by the Owls.
You know, ever since the first play of the game where they had quick passing and a great pass to Katie Garish, they haven't really gone back to her all that much. Or at least they tried 2 or 3 times, just haven't been able to do it. And they just need to be more efficient with that pass because that's where the money is.
See what the referees say about this. And now substitute comes in for the Knights. This is number 24, Angel Tuisavura. Coming in for number 10, Nicole Muse.
And so again, if you're in the Knights' shoes right now and you're down by 1 to a team that you really shouldn't be down to, you need to drop a perfect play to help you understand, okay, we're in this game. We are the better team. We have plays that we can run to take this game away.
Knights been trying consistently to get that ball into Katie Garish and let her go to work down there, but this Owls defense doing a great job of covering Garish.
I think also to where hand strength comes into, as opposed to you have to have that hand strength to catch those passes because almost none of those passes that you're going to get at the post are going to be clean. You're always going to have to fight for it.
See Garish fighting there in the paint for that one. Be a foul call here against the Knights. Be a foul against Knights number 24, Angel Tuisavura. It'll be 2 shots here for the Owls. Heading to the line appears to be number 10. This is Elizabeth Chan.
And that's because they're in the bonus right now. And again, the Knights having some problems with fouls and turnovers. And of course, once you get into the bonus early on, it makes you really weary about playing difficult or tough defense because you're worried about fouling them, you're worried about sending them to the free throw line, especially if they're making them. It becomes a downhill slope.
See a substitute coming in here for the Knights, coming off the court, number 40, Katie Garish, and in her stead, number 41, Brooke Jorgensen. There's a rebound by Jorgensen.
There's that hand streak that I was talking about. Going up with that rebound, having two people around you and just taking it for yourself. Could have been a foul called on Elizabeth Chan. She kind of had her hand around Amanda Wood's arm, but the ref's not seeing that one as it goes out of bounds. Owl ball.
Quick drive in, takes a shot up. No good, rebounded by the Knights.
The Knights showing a little bit of fatigue right now, not really moving their feet very much defensively, and that's where you can get in trouble.
A quick drive by the Knights, looking to get that ball back. Corner three by Christensen, won't fall. Off the hands of Tuisavora. It'll belong to the Owls though.
And you see Coach Wardenberg automatically sending back in Katie Garish because he knows that's who needs to have in there in order to take this lead back from the Owls.
Katie Garish, just such a height difference when she's in the game. This is Martin. No good. Knights looking to make something happen, but just can't. The defense of the Owls proving too much for this Knights team so far.
That baseline pass is such a difficult pass, especially when you have a couple defenders in the area. It's so hard to make it accurately. And of course, Tua Savura found that out.
Owls consistently handing the ball over on the offensive side to Martin. That's their go-to scorer at this point in the game.
And there's about 6 seconds between the shot and game clock, and so I can't imagine that the Owls will be acting too fast to get a shot.
See both teams fighting for it there. The ball looks like it'll still belong to the Owls.
I'm sure that Coach Wardenberg is going to have a few words for his team at the end of this first quarter about keeping momentum, maintaining that energy, and keeping a lead.
7 seconds left on the shot clock. Martin turns up. It's good. Another 2 points for the Owls.
So the shot clock alarm went off.
And the first quarter will end with the Owls of Bryn Mawr College ahead of the Knights 19-15.
And you see Coach Wardenberg on the screen there. He's obviously very quiet and kind of upset with his team, and understandably. I mean, the Knights aren't playing very well right now. They have some problems with rebounding and maintaining possession of the ball. And so they just need to get back to what they're comfortable doing. They need to get back to their offensive mindset, getting the ball to the post, great passes, quick passes on the outside, and not settling so much for three-pointers.
Knights definitely looking to turn the tide here at the end of this quarter. They need to get the ball into Katie Garish. They've tried over the top. It hasn't been there for them. They need to find something else. They need to go back to what they're doing the first 5 minutes of this game, where they were just running all over the Owls. Haven't been able to do it so far. The Owls have answered. Martin's been sensational, almost draining every shot she takes. Knights need to find an answer and need to find it quickly, Dawson.
Absolutely, and I'll turn to that first play of the game again. You saw Dawn Mead at the top of the key. She passed over to Alexis Barnes. Alexis Barnes came back, passed right back to Dawn Mead, passed right into the paint to Katie Garish. It was that back and forth passing, that efficient passing that works for the Knights. And when you just simply start settling for drives to the paint or just simply long shots after holding it for a long time, it's not going to work. You got to go back to your bread and butter because that's what works.
Every coach preaches fundamentals. It looks like the Knights need to go back to the fundamentals here. Almost a completely new starting five for the Knights at the start of this second quarter.
Yeah, we see number 30, Kiara Balaam in at point guard.
And yet another turnover for the Knights off the missed pass.
That was Kaylee Rucker there, the sophomore from Chula Vista, California. Yeah, many of these players did not see very much, if any time at all, last night against Piedmont College. I think Coach Wardenberg might be trying to make a statement to the players who were in early on in the game, trying to help them like, hey, we need you to be focused. We need to be mentally in the game. And so we're going to have these players in here who are ready to play. Let's see what they do.
Coach Wardenborg expects the best from his players, and he will get it out of you one way or another. If that means putting you on the bench and putting someone in your stead that might have just a little bit more fire, he'll do it. And he's proven that throughout the season so far.
Sydney Gardner, who's been a defensive presence for the Owls since that opening stretch for the Knights, missed that first free throw.
Gardner no good on the second.
Yeah, I think that was a lane violation on the Owls. And you saw Sydney Gardner. She kind of has an unorthodox shot. A lot of it coming from the chest, pushing forward a little bit. Not a whole lot of arch on it. Makes it difficult for a free throw shooter.
Trying to get the ball into Dye. Dye goes up. No good. Rebounded back by the Owls.
A great post move, just not enough air underneath it.
Three ball. No good. Picked up again by the Owls, though. The Owls' second opportunity here and a whole new shot clock.
You've got to get that first defensive rebound if you're going to come back in this game if you're the Knights. You've got to have that first rebound. You can't let them have second chances.
Just saw a foul call against Knights number 22, Kaylee Rucker. She exits the game, and in her stead, number 14, Sophie Wright. Quick drive by the Owls. Foul call, shot no good.
And again, you got to move your feet defensively. If you don't move your feet, you're going to see drives like that time and time again. And more often than not, you're going to get a foul call.
And that foul being on number 35, Lorna Lay Sua'ava. First shot is good for the Owls. Paladugu on the line for Bryn Mawr. And she'll drain both of them. And the Knights will now have an opportunity on offense.
The Knights, ever since early on in the first quarter, have just struggled scoring so far.
Long three by Sophie Wright. No good. Trying to be rebounded by Lorna Lay Sua'ava. She won't get it, but this possession will stay with the Knights.
If you're on a cold streak with scoring, you need to get a better shot than that. I mean, yes, if you're wide open, go ahead and take it. But if you're in a situation like this where you need to get momentum back, you need to get those solid, reliable shots.
Fast break here for the Owls. No good. She misses the wide open layup, and the Knights have an opportunity on their own. Puts the shot up. It's no good. Offensive foul call here against Knights number 30, Shara Ballum.
I find it kind of strange that they called that to be offensive foul there because the defender's feet weren't necessarily set unless they were talking about how she maybe extended her arm a little bit. But if they call that a charge, I'm not necessarily sure if that's the correct move because, again, feet weren't set.
Checking in for the Knights, a platoon swap. All 5 players on the court coming off, taking a seat on the bench, being replaced by Coach Adam Wurterberg here.
Again, I think it was a strategy to try to get his starting 5 to say, hey, you need to be mentally in this game. So you're going to sit out for a little bit. This is what you're going to do. You're going to sit out and see if you can figure out what you can do to do better.
This is Martin. No good on that one. Rebounded by Garish. Dawn Mead now with the ball. Turned over yet again by the Knights. That was off the hands of Alexis Barnes. And you see what the foul call was. Foul call on number 10 of the Knights, Nicole Muse.
Coach Warrenberg having a discussion with the ref on this near side about that call because it looks like Muse's feet were a little bit more set than the Owls defender on the other side, on the opposite side of that call. And so Coach Warrenberg a little upset, saying, hey, we feel like it was about the same thing, and you called it a different way each time.
Coach Adam Warrenberg putting yet another substitute in, Amanda Wood, going into game. Coach Warrenberg is trying to find something to answer this. Now Martin has the ball. Quick shot by Martin. It's good. Be a foul call here against number 44 of the Owls, Odanaka Orenenku. Now we see Alexis Barnes, who just came off the floor for the Knights, going back on the floor. The same person took her off, Amanda Wood.
That's a nice thing with basketball, that there's no limitations to how many times you can substitute, because if there were, I'm sure Coach Warrenberg would be approaching that number right now. He's had to make some changes to try to get his team to figure some things out mentally and get back in this.
Great pass from Wright to Garish, and Garish able to put it up for two.
Finally, the drought of scoring ends for the Knights, as again, they go to all reliable Katie Garish.
Quick drive in here by the Owls. Tried to get it around to Martin, couldn't get it. Intercepted by Dawn Mead. Mead still has the ball. Takes it all the way but can't find the basket. It's rebounded by the Owls. Picked up again by the Knights. See a foul call here.
I believe they were saying that the Owl offensive player was out of bounds when she had the ball before Christensen got to it.
Could have gone either way at that point. Either way, it's Knights ball.
So I'd love to see the Knights put on a bit of a run here to end the half and take back this lead and just reestablish who they are on this court.
Great pass again from Wright to Garish. Garish able to put it behind her head for another two. They found their answer. Get it to Katie Garish.
And you see those, it's something you call a mica drill. It's when you do different angles underneath the basket as a post player. Obviously, Katie Garish is putting a lot of time in that drill.
Be a turnover by the Owls. The ball belonged to the Knights.
And you're starting to see that momentum shift that we've been waiting for going towards the Knights' way as they now find themselves down only by 5.
Alexis Barnes with a corner three. Got it! Timeout taken by the Owls at this point. The Knights bringing this game within 2 after having such a scoring drought throughout that second quarter.
Yeah, head coach Becky Taylor for the Owls. Obviously, with a team that last year had limited success as far as wins was concerned, starting to see the momentum shift back to the Knights in a game that they feel like they've had a lot of opportunities to take this first half. But again, the Knights showing that when they play united, when they play their game, how effective they can be offensively.
They have the capabilities to do anything and everything they want on the offensive side. Just need to tone down the mistakes and play slower. They found the hot hand with Katie Garish, and we just saw Alexis Barnes drain the three. They can get that dual threat. I think we're in for a treat here as fans.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just getting that, again, like you said, the combination of Katie Garish and Alexis Barnes, you got to get them both involved in the offense, make it a dual threat type situation. And I think, again, I just feel like the Knights' greatest enemy right now is themselves. The only team that can stop them is their own team, their own minds. And so if they can get past those mental blocks, I feel like the Knights will have no problem running away with the rest of this game.
I also don't think the Owls will have an opportunity to get the ball in the paint, to get those high-quality shots, especially when you have Katie Garish in there, as she's such a defensive presence. The Owls really relying so far on the hot hand of Helena Martin on those outside shots. If they can limit her time with the ball in her hands, I think the Knights will have a great opportunity to win this game. See the Owls trying to make something happen here on offense. Stolen by Alexis Barnes. Picked up by Dawn Mead. Knights on the fast break. Dawn Mead goes up. It's no good, but it's trying to be saved by Amanda Wood. Picked up by the Owls. This is Chan dribbling the ball. Handing the ball to Martin. Travel call on Helena Martin. This ball will belong to the Knights.
And we were talking about Katie Garish earlier. She now has 8 points so far in this first half. Alexis Barnes is a little behind her with 6 points. And Savannah Christensen with 3 points, being 1 for 2 from three-point range.
Pass it into Garish. Got it again.
What a catch by Katie Garish. She had 2 defenders draped over the top of her. Only thing that was available was her hands, and she still able to make that catch.
Ball stolen by Garish, then tipped out of bounds by Martin of the Owls. Knights have tied this game up.
I was talking to Coach Warrenberg before the game, and just have a conversation about the game, and he said, like, oh, I'm excited for this halftime interview again, but hopefully this time I won't be as mad going into halftime. And with this run that Knights putting on, I feel like he'll be not extremely happy with the way the first quarter went, but the way this team responded, absolutely he'll be happy about it.
Absolutely, the last 4 or 5 minutes or so in this quarter. Can't be any more happy with that. We just saw another 3 drained by Barnes. Martin takes a shot. Both teams fighting for it here. Falls back to Martin of the Owls. Martin goes up again. Foul call. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Coach Warrenberg really wanting a foul called because number 42, Elizabeth Robertson, was on the floor along with, I believe it was number 20, Amanda Wood. Kind of were diving over each other for the ball.
That foul call there goes against number 21, Savannah Christensen of the Knights. As Christensen will make her way to the bench, and in her stead, number 35 for the Knights, Lorna Lay Sua'ava, joins the game.
Christensen's doing a lot better at limiting fouls compared to last night. She fouled out last night along with Alexis Barnes. And so only having 1 by halftime is a huge improvement.
Wood gets it again to Garish yet again, just can't get that one to fall.
Another great look. She was open, just kind of an awkward angle to do the backward shot again.
Looks like it'll be a reach-in foul here against the Knights. That's fouled against Sua'ava.
Yeah, Helena Martin for the Owls is losing control of that, and so Sua'ava just saw that opportunity and went for it, because it's basically saying, hey, here's the ball, come get it.
See, Martin makes her way to the free throw line yet again and drains that first one.
And that's 4 fouls for Sua'ava. Due to that, I'd be surprised to see a ton of time with her on the court for the remainder of this game.
Beautiful play between Alexis Barnes and Dawn Mead. Absolutely gorgeous play of basketball.
There was no one in that paint to defend that cut, and Dawn Mead saw that and just took it right to the rim.
Look for the far pass to Chan. Intercepted by Barnes. Barnes on a fast break to Christensen. Christensen puts it up for 2.
This is the type of basketball the Knights are capable of. When they focus, when they buckle down and play defensive basketball, this is what happens. Defense turns into offense.
Blocked by Christensen. Beautiful play.
Obviously, Christensen having that height advantage there and just swats it right out of the air into the stands. The fans love that.
The ball tipped by Katie Garish on the inbound pass.
I like how they have her defending the inbound pass, because last night you saw when they were down by, I believe it was 6, she had that interception that led to the three-pointer that made them down by 3. They ended up losing the game again, but that play really made it possible for the Knights last night.
Stolen by the Owls. No good. It'll go out of bounds. It'll belong to the Knights. As now Dawn Mead takes the ball up here. Looking to continue with the success they found so far on the offensive side of the basketball. Dawn Mead looks in for Garish. Garish goes up, can't get it. Collects her own rebound and gets it back out to Mead.
It's that resets the shot clock until they get to reset whatever offensive look they want to get.
Try to dig into Garish yet again. Can't find a hand on it. Bounced around between a couple players, but in the end, it'll fall to the Owls of Bryn Mawr.
The main play the Knights trying to set up now is a screen from Katie Garish for the point guard, and then she cuts to the block, and that's where most of Katie Garish's points have come from so far, is that same play over and over. So they also have to mix some things up a little bit.
Missed shot there. Not sure if it was a block by Christensen, but beautiful defense by number 21 of the Knights nonetheless. The Knights have yet another opportunity here on offense.
You see that screen play again.
Barnes to Garish. Shot is called off. It's a 3 seconds call against Katie Garish.
Oh, tough break because that one just barely fell in. Everybody thought there was going to be a shooting foul, and if anything, shooting 2 free throws. That's a heartbreaker for Katie Garish.
Ball being carried up by the Owls is Paladugu. Martin with the ball now. Met by Garish. Shot goes up, rebounded by Christensen. Alexis Barnes, corner 3. Won't fall, it'll fall to Sophie Wright. She'll put it back up for 2.
Perfect place at the right time, nobody around her. Easy rebound and score.
That's the hustle plays that Coach Wardenberg wants his team to continue doing. They're so good on the offensive glass. Need to continue doing that. See a quick 3 by the Owls to answer back. Make it a 3-point game.
Yeah, Robertson's been that player that has just come out of nowhere really early on or later on in the first quarter. All of a sudden kind of started taking control, getting some fouls called, had some free throws, and of course that 3-pointer right there.
Absolutely, as all the focus really shifts to Martin. Robertson able to get back in there, but Savannah Christian puts the shots up for the Knights. That's no good. It'll fall back to the Owls.
The Owls are starting to catch on to that play that they're running to the post, and so they have 4 people in the post ready to defend that. Of course, that pass is not getting through.
See the Owls trying to make something happen here on offense. Puts it up, it's no good. Rebounded by Robertson, she puts it up. Travel call against Robertson. This ball will belong to the Knights. Final 10 seconds of the first half. Ball being brought up by the Knights. This is Dawn Mead. Christensen with a shot. Won't find it. And that'll end the first half here at the Knight Arena. Score stands right now. The Knights 33. The Owls of Bryn Mawr College 30. Knights able to ride the hot hand in the last couple of minutes of that quarter. And able to gain the lead. Looking to definitely keep that going. And with that, we'll toss it over to Dawson to stand up with Coach Wardenberg. Dawson?
Yes, I'm with Coach Wardenberg here. And Coach, later on in the first quarter, early on in the second quarter, your team struggled offensively. What are some things that you were able to correct in that?
Well, we really need to correct taking care of the ball. I don't know how many turnovers we have right now, but we have way too many. I know that.
And also defensively, you had a hard time containing some players, the dribble drive. What are some things you can do to help your players to move their feet more and to get in the way of those drives?
Well, I think we're moving our feet just fine, but we're putting our hands on them. That's the problem. And when they're driving, we got to do a better job of rotating over and playing together and not trying to block so many shots.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dawson. And with that, we'll take a halftime break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with some halftime analysis and some more Knights women's basketball. We'll see you after halftime.
instead of just up, which is frustrating. But
Welcome back to the Night Arena as our coverage of tonight's women's basketball match continues as we see the Owls take on the Knights here. Dawson, a little bit of halftime analysis there. The Knights really starting this game off slow, but really picked it up towards the end of that second quarter. What can we make of that?
I think, again, it's a definition of streaky playing. I mean, the Knights started off on a 5-0 run, and then they got to about 15 points, and they struggled immensely to score near the end of that first quarter and didn't really get into a rhythm until midway through the second quarter, and then finally took the lead back by 3. But, I mean, you got to, again, go back to what works. You got to have a smooth operating offense. You got to have good passing, and you got to not turn the ball over. And you saw when we talked to Coach Wardenberg at halftime that was a big thing. They had 14 turnovers at the half. Again, last night they had 24, and then the game before that, they only had 14. So whatever works in that first game, you got to go back to in the second half.
Absolutely. It seems like this Knights team, when they play with discipline, they play so much better, and they're so much more efficient. The efficiency is something this Knights team has really struggled with so far. As you mentioned, the 14 turnovers. They've done a pretty solid job on defense, only really having a little bit of trouble with Martin of the Owls and just a few open threes. But the Knights just need to batten down the hatches at this point. They have the skill and the talent needed to pull this game out. They just need to find their rhythm of play, and at the same time, they just need to batten down the hatches on defense, and I think they'll be just fine.
Yeah, they just need to keep that mental focus, like you were saying. And when we're talking about those inside the post passes to Katie Garish, those passes all need to be on point. They need to be accurate passes. When you have a player that's doing so well, it's so easy to just get lackadaisical about it and say, oh, here you go, score again. And then all of a sudden the pass is not accurate enough and it's stolen and they get a fast break layup. You got to be mentally focused every single second of the game, or else you're going to see the Owls go on runs like they did in the second quarter.
Absolutely. Bryn Mawr College, they played excellently through that first half, really keeping this Knights team a little bit back. The Knights able to take the lead late in that second quarter, but they've picked up on what the Knights have tried to do throughout that second quarter. The Knights really tried to play the pick and roll with Katie Garish and Dawn Mead. It worked about 3 or 4 times, and then the Owls picked up on it. And as soon as Katie Garish would go to the basket, there'd be 3 Owls right around Garish and not allowed to even get that inside pass. The Knights did learn a little bit, though. They passed a little bit out to Alexis Barnes, who had a few good threes. Sophie Wright having some great threes and passes. So the Knights know what they need to do. They just need to do it.
Right, and also with those three-pointers, when they climb down on Katie Garish like that in the paint, they need to get some outside shooting going. Right now, the 3 for 10 for three-point shooting, 30%, which 30% is a percentage you shoot for. But in a game where outside shooting is one of your main open options, you got to knock them down.
Absolutely. Execution the key for the Knights win today. Execution on offense and defense. We'll see if they can do it. That will do it for us here for our halftime analysis. We'll pick it back up as soon as halftime ends with some more Knights basketball. We'll see you then. Thank you so much for your patience. We're back with some more Knights women's basketball as the Knights hold a 3-point lead over the Owls of Bryn Mawr College. We'll see what Coach Adam Wurtenberg and the Knights have in store for this second half.
Yeah, I think another thing we really need to talk about is rebounding, especially defensive rebounding. A lot of the Owls' offensive possessions and scores have come from second chance opportunities, getting the offensive rebound off free throws, off just mid-range shots the Owls been shooting. So buckle down on defensive rebounds. And speaking of rebounds, Katie Garish only needs 5 more to get another double-double.
And the Owls will start the play off here in the second half. Quick drive in right off the bat. The referee says that shot will not count. That foul will be on the floor.
And again, that's the hands that Coach Wardenberg was talking about. He said they're moving their feet defensively. It's just it's so tempting to put your hands on the offensive player. In basketball, you just can't do that nowadays.
Absolutely not. And that foul will be against Knights number 23, Alexis Barnes. 5-second call against the Owls here. Knights able to hold that inbound play to nothing. They'll get the ball back.
Dawn Mead showing a lot of hustle right there to make sure that pass did not get in, because she knew where she wanted to go with it, but she did not let that happen. Great job, Dawn Mead.
See Alexis Barnes driving into the paint. She'll be fouled on her way to the basket. She'll go to the line for 2.
I like that she passed up on the three-point opportunity and went for the more consistent, shorter shot. I like that.
By not taking that outside shot and driving toward the paint, it's a higher quality shot. And also, if she gets fouled, she gets to go to the line and have a free opportunity for 2 more points as she sinks that first free throw.
Exactly.
Alexis Barnes' second attempt. That's good as well.
I had a high school coach that once told me, if you go to the free throw line, you don't make 100% of your free throws, you're doing something wrong. And so, great job, Alexis Barnes, doing that.
See the quick pass in here. That is Martin yet again, and she is fouled on the shot. Shot is good, and that foul is on number 21 of the Knights, Savannah Christensen. It's just in Helena Martin to the line.
Christensen really struggled with fouls last night when she fouled out later in the third quarter, but now only have 2 in this game.
3-point play there converted by Martin and the Owls. The Knights taking their turn now on offense. This is Dawn Mead. Quick drive in by Muse. Takes the shot up. We'll see what the foul call is here.
It's that quick passing that we talked about earlier that's been effective for the Knights. When they pass the ball, get it around the 3-point line quickly, that's when you find those openings start to open up a little bit more.
Something just a little bit interesting, Dawson. Katie Garish hasn't really touched the ball at the beginning of this second half. Maybe the Knights trying to find just another way to try to beat this Owls team.
Trying to be not one-dimensional. You know, if you're a team that only has one way that you can score and the defense finds out about it, you're not going to score for the remainder of the game because they know what you're going to do. And so, like you said, trying to find different alternatives instead of Katie Garish. Probably go back to her once they find that.
Knights up by 4. The Owls give it to Martin. Blocked by Garish. And Christensen on the other end converting for 2.
Again, good defense becomes good offense.
Wild shot. It'll be rebounded by the Owls though, but then stolen back by Muse and the Knights. Dawn Mead with the 3. Got it!
That puts the Knights at 4 for 11 on the night for 3-point shooting. A clutch 3 by the freshman point guard.
Driving here by the Owls. Picked up by Dawn Mead and the Knights. Mead goes up, and that is absolutely swatted by Helena Martin of the Owls.
Yeah, Martin was just waiting for Mead to go up with that layup because she has such a height advantage on Mead. Savannah Christensen having to go up and plug back in the shot clock on the backboard.
Oh my, that swat knocked out the scoreboard.
And now it's starting to power back up again. Have to wait till it's back up and running before play can resume. And now it's reset. Now play can resume. My goodness, I've never seen that in a basketball game.
Absolutely not. Had to reset the shot clock. If the Knights will get the ball now, it's a quick pass in to Garish. Now being handled by Barnes.
Garish smartly gets it back out to Christensen to reset everything.
Shot again by Mead. That one won't find it. Rebounded by Garish. Put up behind her back and converted for 2 by Katie Garish.
The spin on that shot. She realized she was twisting around, spun it towards the right side, A great shot by Katie Garish.
Driving here by the Owls. Shot by Martin at the elbow. Got it.
Muse showing really good handwork on defense, getting her hands on that ball, almost drawing it loose.
Foul call here against the Owls. It's the Owls number 10, Elizabeth Chan, picking up the foul.
I think she was trying to wrap her hand around to get to that ball, but instead wrapped around Muse's body in the process.
Corner three by Christensen. That's good.
The Knights catching fire early on in the second half. Whatever Coach Warrenberg said to them at halftime, it's working right now.
Absolutely, the Knights jump out to a 12-point lead.
Maybe it's that special stuff that Michael Jordan gave to the Looney Tunes at Space Jam.
Well, whatever it is, it's got Coach Adam Warrenberg extremely excited. This is Martin. Martin goes up. Looks like it'll be a foul call here against Savannah Christensen. It'll send Martin to the line.
Yeah, Christensen not happy with that call because she was saying that her hands were all completely in the air. Maybe got a little bit of Martin, but that's what the ref saw, so she'll be at the line.
Martin's first shot won't find it. Now we see Savannah Christensen coming out for the Knights. She's being replaced by number 20, Amanda Wood.
And that's Christensen's third foul.
Knights preparing for Martin's second attempt. And that one will go in. Nicole Muse to the basket. Met no foul call, and Coach Adam Wardenberg cannot believe it.
Yeah, there's a lot of body impact on that from number 12, Sydney Garner, on Muse, knocking her to the ground. And I believe like about 9 times out of 10, you'll probably get that call. This is the 10th time.
Try to get the ball into Garish, but it'd be a foul call here. Foul call against the Owls. It'll send Katie Garish to the line.
I think it'll actually just be an inbound play. Not quite in the bonus yet.
I think you're right. Pass into Garish, and she converts another one for 2.
Just so much taller than the defenders. Just throw it up. She's going to go up and get it.
And this will lead to a timeout from the Owls. Coach Adam Wardenberg's girls playing extremely well at this point, taking a 13-point lead over the Bryn Mawr College Owls.
I think at the beginning of that timeout is the first time we've seen Coach Wardenberg smile all night because he knows that his team is playing to their potential right now. Going on a massive offensive storm with Katie Garish, multiple different shooters making plays. Christensen right off the bat making a three-pointer. I mean, you just got so much going right now at the beginning of this half. Again, we talk about momentum and keeping that. How are they going to do that?
Be interesting to see how they intend to, like you said, keep that momentum going and ride this hot hand. The Knights have it so far. They've hit 3 after 3. And let's not forget Katie Garish. Maybe not the flashiest plays, but she gets work done down there. She's always surrounded by 3 or 4 players. It's amazing she can even get the ball up for a shot, but somehow she does, and it almost always converts.
And a little stat update, Katie Garish now has 14 points, 6 rebounds. Alexis Barnes has 11 points, and Christensen has 10 points. She is now 2 for 4 from the three-point line. And so got their top 3 players right there already in double digits, so it's a good sign for your offense.
Scoring all around for this Knights team so far. You see both teams take it to court yet again. Owls looking for answers, and Knights trying to keep this hot hand going. Pass comes in from Robertson. Tipped up, but one back by the Owls.
Don Mead almost got to that.
Quick 3 by Robertson. It won't find it. It'll be rebounded by Alexis Barn of the Knights. shot by Wood. Got it!
Oh my goodness. That's the first basket of the night. The confidence in coming around that screen and immediately shooting that jumper, it's infectious to the rest of the team.
Absolutely. You see the Owls convert for two, especially for Amanda Wood. If you haven't had the greatest scoring game so far, to have the confidence to shoot that ball the way she did, just absolutely amazing. You see Dawn Mead dribbling in. She won't get it. It'll be rebounded by Martin.
I think she was surprised at how wide open that was as the defender who was on her just left. So that might have been why she didn't put as much on the layup as she would have.
It looks like Martin stepped out of bounds. Ball belonged to the Knights. Gets it into Garish. Garish goes up, gets her own rebound, puts it up again, grabs her own rebound, tries to tip it up, and she is fouled.
Katie Garish getting 2 offensive rebounds right there in that sitting. I think she'll end up with this double-double easy. She now has 14 points and 7 rebounds.
And that foul goes against Owls number 44, Odinaka Orenku.
You see our slam cam here and this free throw shot, one of the new additions to the Knights Sports Network here.
As Garish strains her first attempt. Garish's second shot, won't find it. Tried to be saved by Alexis Barnes, but she can't get to it in time. This ball belongs to the Owls as Knights Sophie Wright makes her way into the game. This is Robertson. Block call against number 10 of the Knights, Nicole Muse.
I think a big thing to note right now is since halftime, the Owls have only scored 4 points. And so talking about defensive improvement compared to the first half, I'm just astonished by it right now.
First shot is good by Robertson.
You know, at this point, with how well Katie Garish is playing right now, I would be surprised if she sees a whole lot of time on the bench in the fourth quarter.
See Dawn Mead taking the ball up for the Knights now. Slipped by Dawn Mead. Rebounded by the Owls. Being surrounded by some Knights. Knights bench trying to get the travel call. Refs saw it differently. It'll be Owls ball. Shot up by the Owls, rebounded. Shot by Robertson. No good. And that one will go out of bounds. It will belong to the Knights.
And so we'll see it in a timeout here. I mean, again, total only 10 points so far in the third quarter, and the Knights going on an absolute rampage of scoring, they had 22 points. Actually, no, it's 18 points in this quarter alone. And when they, in the first quarter, stopped and had a stalemate at 15 points up until about midway through the second quarter, again, I can't stress enough the improvement of this quarter so far. Again, with momentum, keeping that momentum, and just the mental focus that the Knights have shown in the third quarter.
As you've seen, especially towards the end of that second quarter, the Knights have continued that momentum that they took from the first half and applied it to this half, and it's been great to watch. Knights almost knocking down everything they shoot, it seems, and playing extremely well on defense. This is what Coach Adam Winterberg wants to see from his girls, and this is how you play like a champion. That's their mantra for the year, and that's what they've been doing.
And now again being up 12 points with just about 4.5 minutes left in this quarter. Again, if I'm Coach Warrenberg, I'm just going to keep feeding it to the post. Build this lead. Don't let the Owls have any room to hope. I mean, it sounds, when you're just talking about it like this, it sounds kind of mean, but as a coach, that's what you want. You don't want to be in question if your team's going to win the game. You want to know that you're in control.
Absolutely. Now we see both teams making their way to the floor right now. The Knights will start off with the ball. Commanding the offense for the Knights now, number 13 freshman, Dawn Mead. Mead with a drive. Mead puts it up.
That's the second offensive possession in a row. Let's just try that floater.
Picked up by Sophie Wright. And that'll go off the Knights and belong to the Owls.
What an athletic play by Sophie Wright. You saw the crowd react as she spun out of that play and tripped up her defender and almost get the highlight reel play that everyone likes to say. They like to say that she broke her ankles in those kind of situations.
Robertson with the drive. Puts it up and she'll go and shoot two. That foul will go against Knights number 14, Sophie Wright.
And Robertson's another one for the Owls that's been really held in check by the Knights defensively so far in this quarter.
Robertson's first attempt is good. That'll make it an 11-point game.
And you see that Corey Stout's coming in for Dawn Mead. I tell you what, for as quiet and shy of a girl Dawn Mead is when we had interviews with her, she has a fiery game to her. She has gotten plenty of steals, great defensive work, and great passes to Katie Garish.
And as you've seen, she's not afraid to take the shots that most players will just pass up and pass it. Dawn Mead always wanting to get the best shot possible. You see a travel call here against the Owls. Just exactly what the Knights needed. They'll get the ball back on offense. Alexis Barn to inbound this ball, gets it in, tries to get it to Garish. Corey Stout goes up, can't convert.
She's able to split the defenders there, just not able to finish. A great drive.
Robertson goes up. Picks up her own rebound, goes it in, blocked by Christensen. Alexis Barnes. And this ball will belong to the Owls.
That's two straight layups that the Knights could have cashed in on to build on this lead, unable to finish.
There's a foul call against number 11 of the Knights, Corey Stout.
And since the Owls are in the bonus here, they get a free throw off that foul.
On the line right now for the Owls, number 4, Lippi Paladugu.
The Owls have kind of chipped away at this lead here, now making only 8 points. I feel like that's the time when the Knights really need to show what they're made of and get back on a little streak.
See Sophie Wright driving into the paint, goes up. Appeared to be a hard foul, no call. Christensen with a three, can't convert. Coach Adam Wurtenberg getting teed up by the referees. Having discussion with the referee at this point. Coach Adam Wurtenberg picking up the technical foul. Thought there was a foul call there on Sophie Wright, one of his players. Referee thought differently. Coach Adam Wurtenberg not happy with it.
What he's angry with is when she went up for the shot and she was thrown up on the ground. And so Coach Wurtenberg, along with everybody else in the stadium, was thinking that was a shooting foul. But again, the ref on the baseline side thought otherwise.
Seems like the only people happy with those calls are the Bryn Mawr College fans. And we have a few of them here at the Knight Arena tonight. Only one's happy with that call. Everyone else in full disagreement.
Yeah, one of the refs even came over and said that the defender had their hands on the ball, and that was the reasoning for not calling the foul.
This will send Martin to the line for the Owls. She'll convert on her first shot.
The Knights fans getting a little bit more involved after that foul call.
And she'll convert both of them. Owls able to whittle down this lead. Now only a 6-point lead here for the Knights.
As the refs and Coach Wardenberg continue to have a discussion about that last play.
If you can call it a discussion, Dawson, look a little bit more of a bickering fight more than a discussion to me.
Well, that shows just the kind of coach that Wardenberg is. He fights for his players. He has an opinion on things. He sees things on the court. He is going to say what he sees. And sometimes, sorry about that, Chris, but sometimes the best coaches are the ones who just speak their mind. They'll get a couple tackles every now and then, but you know what? They're defending the players.
And as a player, there's something you like to see in the right situation. Your coach stand up for you. As now we see the Knights trying to make something happen on offense. This is Savannah Christensen. She's fouled on the shot. That foul will go against number 33, Helena Martin.
Coach Wardenberg wanting Alexis Barnes to go up with that shot when she was down in the paint. Instead, she elected to pass it to Katie Garish, which ended up with Savannah Christensen with the ball.
Christensen converts on the first shot. Christian can't convert on the second. Shots up, off the glass and in. Amazing shot by Martin.
The bank is open on that far side.
Beautiful move by Alexis Barnes into the paint and in for two. Highlight play by Alexis Barnes.
The fans are on their feet after that play as Alexis Barnes, like you said, brilliantly drove it through there and was able to finish that layup.
Martin met by Christensen. Corner three for the Owls. No good, picked up by Barnes. Stout with the quick shot and got it. 2 more points for the Knights.
Not very heavily defended as she came up that near side. And so she has an open shot. Why not?
Owls put it into Martin. Martin with a quick shot. Can't find it. Rebounded by Christensen.
I can't blame her for shooting that one. She's the one with the hot hand right now.
Christensen three. Can't find its way in. Almost had it.
And the Owls are going to use as much time as they can to end this third quarter.
No good. Owls cannot find the basket at this point. Now see a fast break opportunity for the Knights. Travel call against number 14 of the Knights, Sophie Wright.
I think Sophie had a little pump fake to try to get the defender off her, and in that process took an extra step. And hence the traveling call.
With that travel call, number 20 for the Knights, Amanda Wood, will make her way into the game. It's number 14, Brendan Harrison. Tried to be stripped by Sophie Wright. This ball will stay with the Owls, though.
That's good hands. Even those almost steals get in the offense's head a little bit. Makes you very cautious, and it makes you overthink things. It'll make you make a mistake.
Inbounding the ball is Paladugu for the Owls. Quick shot. That one will find it. That's down for two. with 21 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. It's a 6-point game for the Knights.
Playing her right hand here.
Looks like Stout will hold it for the last shot. Dribbles in. Alexis Barnes in the corner. That one can't find it. Quick shot goes up, and that'll end the third quarter. Score stands Knights 57, the Owls of Bryn Mawr College 51. Knights able to hold off the attack of the Owls. The Owls had it within 4. The Knights able to have the scoring streak of their own and maintain this lead.
Yeah, I think, again, that's one thing that's keep in mind as into this fourth quarter is the Knights will probably start off hot again. They have that streak where they start off the quarter really well, and it kind of fades away at the end. If they can get a good streak going and keep that momentum with them the rest of the quarter, they should have no problem closing out this game.
Absolutely not. We saw a little bit from the Owls there. Rich Martin had a few good shots, and then right after the technical foul of Coach Wardenberg, the Owls had a little bit of a scoring streak, scoring 6 points or so to get it back in within reach for them. But the Knights responding extremely well to get it back. If, like you said, Dawson, if they keep playing the way they have, they'll have no problem in the fourth quarter.
Especially with how involved the fans are getting. You're starting to see it. The arena is starting to fill up a little bit more near the end of the game. The energy is starting to build up. You feel the support for this girls team from the fans and the college students that are here. I mean, it's right before Thanksgiving break. Students are excited about basketball season being here. They're excited about break from studying. As you know, I mean, we understand that as much as anybody. And so to see how this game is going and the Knights taking advantage of the momentum early on in that half, it's exciting to see.
Absolutely, and as the fourth quarter starts, the Knights will start with the ball inbounded by Alexis Barnes. Crunch time here for the Knights. Pass use is broken up. Haladuke goes in but blocked by Dawn Mead.
Tell you what, Paladugu read that the entire way. I mean, Dawn Mead has been playing extremely well for a freshman, but she totally eyeballed that pass the entire time, and Paladugu knew exactly where it was going.
Pass in to Martin. She'll get the shot up, but it's no good. Rebounded by Barnes. Wood with a quick three. No good.
And surprisingly enough, during that streak of scoring, the Knights only had one basket from Katie Garish.
And that's a three-point play for the Owls. They've made it a three-point game. Looked in for Katie Garish, broken up by Martin of the Owls. Stolen back by Muse. Muse takes it up. And there's the foul call.
Yeah, Martin was trying to go for that block until she swatted out, hitting Muse in the process.
That foul will go against number 33, Helena Martin.
And that'll be her second foul of the night.
First shot no good by Muse. Second one falls.
And I love the reaction after that turnover, how Muse is able to just come right back and steal it back for her team. She knew that was a big play.
It's an offensive foul against the Owls. The ball will go back to the Knights.
I believe they called a moving screen on Aneku of the Owls. As I think it was Muse who was trying to get back up on defense and was prevented so by the moving screen.
Now we see some substitutes coming in here for the Owls. Number 42, Robertson, along with Chan, making their way onto the floor. Robertson being quiet a little bit this game, but scoring a lot of points. She's been not drawing a lot of attention, but getting a lot of points here for the Owls team.
Seen some great defense from Harrison, putting a lot of pressure on Dawn Mead.
Shot no good, but rebounded and put back up by the Owls. It's a 2-point game. Pass goes into Katie Garish. Falls to Barnes. Barnes with a three. Won't get it.
I don't even want to imagine how exploded this place would have gotten if that would have gone in and have been and one three-pointer.
That foul will send Barnes to the free throw line for 3 shots. Gets the first one. Can't convert on the second. One more to shoot. We see Corey Stout making her way into the game. In for Dawn Mead.
Yeah, again, Dawn Mead just getting a lot of pressure defensively, and so Coach Warren Burke having the mental process of thinking Corey Stout will be able to handle it a little bit more here in this game.
Picked up by Katie Garish. Now the Owls on the attacking chance on offense now. This is Martin. Into the lane, put the shot up, it's no good. Rebounded by the Knights. Put back into Garish. Garish puts it up and converts it for 2.
That was a great pass. Tossing it ahead of Garish so she could catch up to it and finishing with the left.
Knights on defense now. Shot goes up. No good. Rebounded by Barnes. Into Garish. That's a higher quality shot. I like that play. Everyone else in the Knight Arena telling Muse to shoot that ball. She saw the opportunity to pass it into Garish and converted it for 2.
That's
Knights now up by 7.
Excuse me about that, Chris. Sorry about that. Anyway, that's what people like to call Spurs basketball. You have a wide open 3. You see the open shot inside the paint, and it goes in. I mean, Chris, you'll think differently because you're a fan of a different NBA team, but you know what? That's what I'll call it.
Yes, I am, and that information will remain undisclosed. With this break in the action, Dawson, let's take a little bit and just talk about the Knights Sports Network. I just want to thank everyone so much for tuning in to our broadcast and watching these athletes do the game they love. We couldn't do this without the people watching and without the fans here. The Knights Sports Network, the first fully student-run broadcasting network here at SVU. We're so grateful for this opportunity, and we thank everyone so much for tuning in this night.
Yeah, again, like I talked about last night, it's so fun to be a part of this fully student-run broadcast crew here. I mean, you see all the many things we've added to the broadcast for you parents back at home, like such as the slam cams. As you see here on your screen, we have the new scoreboard that's up on the right side of your screen. And it's always new exciting things we can have to present to you, the parents of these students and these athletes.
Absolutely. Just thank y'all so much, and we hope to get back with some more basketball action here. Knights up 63-56 over the Bryn Mawr College Owls. Both teams just breaking their huddles right now and making their way onto the court. Knights need to maintain this lead.
Knights fans, let's make some noise!
The atmosphere in the Knight Arena is absolutely electric right now. Every fan, every student, all behind these athletes tonight. Offensive troubles here for the Owls. Try to get in. Turnover by the Owls, picked up by Katie Garish.
Again, Katie Garish being that reliable defender that the Knights can turn to in the paint.
That ball is stripped by the Owls.
The Owls have done a very good job at using their hands defensively. And Garish, another steal. Why not?
Chalk it up for Garish. She's been an absolute powerhouse this entire game, both offensively and defensively. See a quick shot by Muse. It won't find its way into the basket, and this will be rebounded and picked up by the Owls.
Yeah, Garish right now has 19 points, 8 rebounds. As you see again, the score by the Owls.
Saw that quick shot there by Robertson. Notice Martin is not in the game right now for the Owls. Coach may be saving her for the last couple minutes. Shot goes up from Stout. It'll find its way into the basket. That's 3 points for the Knights.
It's so easy to forget about her ability to shoot the three-pointer because she doesn't get many chances. She's not very advantage, doesn't have a whole lot of advantage with height, and so she has to be wide open. When she does, she can knock them down just as good as anybody.
Absolutely. Now it's an 8-point lead for the Knights as Robertson drives it, and it's blocked by Garish.
That's a combination of Garish and Christensen coming from the backside. The Twin Towers, you had to jump over in order to shoot that one.
See some substitutes coming in for the Knights now. Coming onto the bench, Katie Garish and Nicole Muse. Shot goes up and there's foul.
And Chan was able to get that chance because Christensen ran more towards Chan rather than breaking down and preparing herself for that cut.
Chan on the free throw line now. Converts the first.
And he talked about how the Owls might have been saving Martin for the last few minutes. I feel like that's what Coach Wardenberg is doing with Katie Garish.
Second one won't find its way in. Knights now with an opportunity on offense. To the corner, three by Wood. Wood trying to pick up her own rebound.
Coach Wardenberg tried to call timeout in the midst of all of that.
Coach Adam Wardenberg trying to call the timeout. Referees just didn't hear him, I guess, on that one. It'll be a jump ball call. It'll belong to the Owls. Has to be frustrating if you're Coach Adam Wardenberg at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it gets so loud in this arena sometimes for being how small it is. So when a ref's standing right there, it's still hard to hear a coach yelling for timeout.
Now the Owls will have an opportunity on offense. This will be a foul on number 41 of the Knights, Brooke Jorgensen. It'll be on the floor, and the Owls will inbound the ball.
Some great inbound defense from the Knights.
Not able to get it, though. There's another jump ball here, and this one will go to the Knights.
We saw early on in the game when the Knights played such great inbound defense that it became a 5-second rule violation by the Owls, and you almost saw it again there.
See Alexis Barnes trying to regain that ball, and she does. Passes out to Christensen. Wood with a quick three. Got it!
She had a shot like that earlier on a couple possessions ago, and this time able to knock it down.
Knights fighting over the rebound there. This will go to the Owls, though. As now it's a 10-point lead for the Knights. That pass just tipped out of bounds by Cordy Stout. See the Owls inbounding the ball now.
She had that stutter step right before she started dribbling. That's one thing you're starting to see more and more in both college and professional basketball is refs starting to break down that initial step.
See a substitute coming in for the Knights, number 20, Amanda Wood. This is Corey Stout now with the ball. Knights moving the ball around. Now Muse with the three. Got it!
Now you're starting to see the type of game that the Knights were expecting to have tonight against this team. having a lot of great offensive success, a lot of great open looks and knocking them down.
Martin with a three, no good. Over the back call against the Owls.
Again, with a player like Corey Stout in front of you, it is, again, really tempting to just reach over and try to pull it up from above him. But again, this isn't your typical game of 21 or pig.
Absolutely not. These refs have been all over top of all the fouls here today. See the Knights taking the floor here, just discussing what they want to do with the last 3 minutes and 18 seconds left to go in this game.
With a 13-point lead against a team like this Owls team that has been streaky all game long, you got to be very careful. But you also just got to keep playing with the momentum you have on offense. Nothing to hold back. Got to keep your foot on the gas pedal.
For those of you that didn't see, the referee just called a delay of game call. Corey Stout in for two. Be a timeout taken by Bryn Mawr College.
And again, a great offensive run by the Knights. Just doing a great job of taking advantage of this momentum and really figuring out how they can close out an opponent.
Absolutely. Coach Adam Mortimer just having a word with his team now, making sure they don't give up this lead. They've worked so hard to get it. They don't want to let it go now. With 3 minutes left to go here in this game, Knights have a 15-point lead.
And again, you see SVU's Spirit Squad here on the court. Parents of these student athletes, these cheerleaders watching tonight.
They do a great job of getting really the atmosphere of the Knight Arena up to a level that can really propel these athletes forward. They do much more than you think. They get the fans into the game, and we absolutely love them here at Southern Virginia University. Now see both teams taking the floor now. It'd be interesting to know what the coach of Bryn Mawr told their girls there. Having a deficit right now in this game. Martin checked back in for the game now for the Owls.
You see number 10, Muse, defensively there. Muse been, like right there, she's been a defensive star all game long.
Muse with the steal, puts it up. No foul call, put back up for the Knights. Can't get it in. Picked up again by Stout. Quick three by Wood. It's good!
Wood having a fantastic fourth quarter with 2 3-pointers that have really brought these fans, 3 3-pointers, that have brought these fans to their feet.
Quick drive in here by the Owls. Martin with a shot. Can't find it. Rebounded by Robertson. Martin again with a shot. That's blocked by Christensen. That was a controversial double dribble call there against Corey Stout.
I think the ref saw a little bit of hesitation on that last dribble, and so Corey Stout had a little bit of pause, then dribble, and the ref saw it as a double dribble.
All I know is that the junior from Murray, Utah, couldn't believe the call against her there. Trying to rush back for that ball. Quick shot by Chan. That'll fall. Knights boasting a 16-point lead now. Tried to get it into the corner to Wood, the hot hand. Just unfortunately too far to her left and goes out of bounds.
Fortunately, she was caught by a couple of the student athletes here on campus.
Offensive foul against the Owls. This ball will belong to the Knights.
You can really see the Owls starting to get frustrated now with calls and with how the momentum has shifted to the Knights. Again, being down by 16. after playing, honestly, a very solid game on their part.
Ball goes into Jorgensen. Travel call made against Jorgensen.
Yeah, they're saying that step through that Jorgensen tried through the two defenders was a step too many. It was a good idea, though. She had Christensen on the opposite side of the paint.
As that tip pass goes out of bounds, it'll stay with the Owls, though.
They see 35 for the Knights checking in. That's Sua'ava for Christensen.
Turnover by the Owls off the hands of Robertson. This ball will belong to the Knights. As a few more Knights check into the game. Coming into the game for the Knights, number 30, Chiara Ballum, a freshman standing at 5'4" from Chantilly, Virginia. Suava drives, puts it up with the right hand, and she's fouled on the way to the basket.
Yeah, I believe it was Sua'ava who got into foul trouble early, and so she's spent most of the time in the second half on the bench, but coming out here and getting to the free throw line.
Suava's first attempt is good.
Coach Warrenberg talking to number 30, Chiara Ballum, on the sideline.
The Owls have a minute left in this game to try to make some sort of an impact on this commanding Knights lead.
Yeah, with just under a minute left, 18 points, that's a tall order, especially with all the momentum on the Knights side, all the frustration that the Owls are going through right now.
Just like that, an offensive foul called against Bryn Mawr. That was against number 10, that was Chan. The ball will remain in Knights' hands, and that is the 10th foul for Chan. So that puts a curtain on Chan's night with around 54 seconds left to go here in this game. Knights with a commanding lead. Sophie Wright goes up with the left hand but can't find the basket. Foul called against the Knights.
Yeah, that was against Tuisa Vura of the Knights. I think she's got her hand in there and reached in a little bit too much, at least for the ref's liking.
Referee just taking a minute to convene in the middle of the court, talk about something. Not exactly sure what it was, but it puts a stop to play. Looks like the ball will resume and remain with the Owls here. Not exactly sure what that stoppage was for. Sophie Wright putting everything on the line trying to get to that ball, but just not close enough.
And I think they're going to say that Sophie Wright got a hand on it.
Miscommunication between both teams. Referee saying that it's Knights ball. And after that massive confusion, the Knights will inbound the ball. Tuisa pass goes into Jorgensen. Tuisa goes up for two and she'll convert it.
A great pick pass by Jorgensen, sets up Tuisa Vura beautifully.
Three comes in off the front of the rim.
It's still pretty open after shooting that shot.
Foul called there on the other end of the floor.
Tuisavalua getting too reach happy, trying to reach around and took the ball out.
The Owls will inbound the ball now with around 11 seconds left to go in this game. Knights with a 20-point lead. This is just garbage time now as that one finds in and out. Coach Wardenberg just telling his girls slow down as the clock winds down. That'll do it for the Knights team here as they win in commanding fashion. A 20-point lead over the Bryn Mawr Owls.
Thank you for coming out and supporting Southern Virginia University Athletics. Tonight's final score, the Owls.
What a game it was. We saw some stars for the Knights team shining today. Amanda Wood doing some very necessary threes. But Katie Garish getting it done all on the offensive side and defensive side. Just a great showing by the Knights so far.
Hosting their first home game of the year against the Max of Immaculata University.
And that'll take the Knights to a season record of 2-1. And it'll move the Owls of Bryn Mawr College to 0-2. Great showing by the Knights. A little bit of a slow start, but able to pull it out in the end. And now Dawson Weidrich standing alongside court with Coach Adam Wardenberg. Just a few notes on that game. We'll toss it over to Dawson in just a minute.
I'm here with Coach Wardenberg, who just got his first home win as women's head coach for SVU. Coach, talked at halftime about turnovers and how it was a big impact in the first half. Your team went from 14 turnovers in the first half to 8 in the second. What do you credit that to?
You know, that was just, we got mentally tougher in the second half. We controlled the pace a little bit more and we played our style of basketball, which was a big thing in the first half. We just weren't playing SVU basketball.
And again, we also talked about defense as well. What are some things you changed defensively to give your team a better chance at extending this lead?
The biggest thing we started doing was rebounding the basketball. We gave up too many offensive rebounds in the first half, and the fact that we kept our hands off them in the second half, stopped fouling them as much, really was able to help us get more stops and push the ball up the floor.
And again, congratulations, Coach Wardenberg. It's a pleasure. Good to see you guys get your first home win of the season. And we'll have Katie Garish up here in just a moment. Thanks so much, Coach. We're with Katie Garish, who finished the game with 19 points, 8 rebounds, 2 rebounds away from another double-double. You're averaging a double-double in the season, so congratulations on that. What was the message that Coach Wardenberg had for you guys at halftime?
At halftime? He was kind of upset, but he emphasized what he's been emphasizing all year is being a champion and making sure that we play our game, the SVU, women's basketball game that he's been teaching us. So that's what he's been emphasizing most to us. So.
And I think in the second half is when you had the hot hand, when you were scoring those points, and all of a sudden the Owls doubled down on you. What are some things your offense focused on to get other people involved?
Well, the big thing is that when they're on me, the outside is all open. So that's where we want to emphasize on passing it out and getting them some points and getting them the ball. So.
And about playing 2 games in a row, you guys played 2 games in 2 days today. What's the mental focus going into 2 games in a row?
It's hard, but it's basically focusing, and honestly, it's being a champion, and that's what we have to focus on this season is being a champion and winning these games, because every game's important, even if they're non-conference.
Absolutely. Again, thank you so much, Katie, for joining us. Again, the Knights take the win today, and again, great job by Katie Garish.
Thank you so much, Dawson. That'll do it for us here at the Knight Arena as the Knights rout the Owls to a score of 81-61. We thank you so much for joining us at the Knight Sports Network, and we'll see you next time. And remember, it's always a great day to be a Knight.